Ever dreamt of having superpowers? Well, be careful what you wish for. Some superheroes should have probably kept their receipt. Welcome, fellow enthusiasts, to the awe-inspiring, mind-boggling domain of superhero powers. This realm, brimming with extraordinary abilities, has long seized our imagination, feeding our curiosity and fascination. The allure of super speed, flight, invulnerability, and telekinesis is undeniable. Who hasn't, at least once, dreamt of soaring above the clouds, moving objects with a mere thought, or running faster than a speeding bullet? However, let's take a pause and imagine for a moment. What if the superpower lottery doesn't quite go as planned? What if you end up with a power that's less about saving the world and more about causing mild confusion, or perhaps even laughter? Yes, you heard right. Not all superpowers are as glamorous or as useful as they appear in the glossy pages of comic books or the high-definition screens of our favorite superhero movies. Some powers, believe it or not, might make you wish for a return to normalcy, or at the very least a decent refund policy. From the perplexing to the downright ridiculous, these powers will have you scratching your head, questioning the very laws of the superhero universe. They're not necessarily the worst powers, but they're certainly not the most practical or impressive either. They're the superpowers that leave us bemused, puzzled, and occasionally a bit tickled. So, brace yourselves, dear friends, as we embark on this lighthearted journey through the lesser-known, somewhat absurd corners of superhero lore. We'll be exploring the powers that didn't quite make the cut, the ones that are more likely to induce giggles than gasps of awe. Now prepare to be amazed, or rather, bemused, as we delve into the top 5 most useless superhero powers. Scene script. Coming in at number 5, we have the power to turn into a brick. Yes, you heard it right, a brick. Imagine being in the thick of a superhero battle, fists flying, lasers zapping, and then, just as you're about to deliver the final blow, you transform into a brick. Not the most heroic image, is it? This power, believe it or not, is a genuine superhero ability, belonging to the appropriately named Brick Baxter, also known as the Brick from the obscure comic series The Misfits. Now, Brick Baxter was a regular guy, just like you and me, until a freak accident involving radioactive bricks, because of course that's a thing, gave him the ability to transform into an inanimate brick. Yes, his superhero transformation doesn't involve a cool costume change or a flashy explosion. He just becomes a brick. There's no denying that this power is unique. After all, how many people can say they can turn into a construction material at will? But let's be honest, it's not the most practical of abilities. Imagine trying to save the day as a brick. You can't move, you can't speak, and your only hope is that the villain trips over you, which, let's face it, is a long shot at best. And then there's the real-life applications. Sure, you could help out at a construction site, but it's not exactly the most glamorous job for a superhero, is it? Plus, there's the risk of being accidentally cemented into a wall, which really puts a damper on the whole saving the world thing. So, while the power to turn into a brick might be one of the most unusual abilities out there, it's safe to say that it's not the most useful. But hey, at least it gives a new meaning to the phrase brick wall defense. So, unless you fancy a career as a construction material, this power might not be your first choice. Bouncing into number 4, we have Superhuman bouncing. Great for kids' parties, not so much for fighting crime. Imagine being able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, not by flying, but by bouncing like a rubber ball. This power first made its appearance in the world of comics when a character found out they could harness the elasticity of a rubber ball, giving them the ability to bounce around with ease. Sounds fun, right? Well, consider this. How practical is it to bounce your way through a high-speed chase or a covert operation? One word, not. You'd be more likely to cause a traffic jam or bounce into a wall than catch the bad guy. And let's not even get started on the potential for motion sickness. So, while superhuman bouncing may have its moments of fun, its practicality in the realm of crime fighting is, let's just say, questionable at best. While it might make for a fun party trick, as a crime fighting tool, it leaves a lot to be desired. If you've ever wanted to have a heart-to-heart with an apple, then our third most useless power, speaking to fruit, is for you. Now imagine this, you're at the grocery store, and you're having a hard time deciding between a Granny Smith or a Golden Delicious. Well, worry no more. With the power to converse with fruit, you can get the inside scoop straight from the apple's mouth, or stem, I suppose. This power made its debut in the world of comics through the character Fruity Talker, a botanist turned superhero after a freak greenhouse accident. Fruity Talker could communicate with fruits and gain valuable insights. Sounds juicy, right? Well, not exactly. While it might be fun to banter with bananas or confabulate with cantaloupes, it's not exactly practical in a superhero showdown, I mean, could you imagine trying to stop a bank robbery with the power of fruit persuasion? Hold on, Mr. Bank Robber. This grape has something to say. And let's not even get started on fruit lifespans. You'd finally make a friend in a Fuji apple, only for it to go bad in a week. Talk about an emotional roller coaster. In the grand scheme of superhero powers, speaking to fruit falls short in the usefulness department. It's like having the ability to teleport, but only into locked bathrooms. It's interesting, sure, but not exactly what you'd call super. So, unless you're hosting a fruit-themed talk show, this power might not be of much use to you. At number 2, we have the power to change color based on emotions, as if blushing wasn't embarrassing enough. Let's take a moment to imagine this. You're a superhero, ready to fight off villains and save the day, but oh no, your secret weapon turns out to be a kaleidoscope of colors bursting forth to mirror your emotions. Anger turns you red, sadness makes you blue, and happiness turns you a vibrant shade of yellow. It's like a living, breathing mood ring. This power has its roots in the world of comic books, where it's wielded by characters like the Chameleon and Rainbow Girl. While it might sound cool in theory, in practice it's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Can you imagine trying to maintain a poker face in a high-stakes situation, only to turn bright purple because you're feeling nervous? Or what happens when you're trying to play it cool on a date, but your skin color is broadcasting every single emotion you're feeling? Talk about a mood killer. And let's not forget about the villains. If they can read your emotions from your color changes, they've basically got a cheat sheet to your every move. You might as well hand them a How to Defeat Me manual. Sure, there could be some benefits. You could save a fortune on paint for your superhero lair just by feeling a variety of emotions. And hey, who needs a therapist when you can just look in the mirror to see how you're feeling? But when it comes to the crunch, this power falls short. The last thing you need in a battle is to turn a shade of green because you're feeling sick. And what happens when you feel multiple emotions at once? Do you turn into a psychedelic rainbow? While it might save you some money on mood rings as a superhero power, it's not exactly top tier. And drumroll please, the most useless superhero power is the ability to grow hair at will. You heard that right, folks. This power, which hails from the realm of comic quirkiness, gives its bearer the capacity to sprout tresses anywhere, anytime. Imagine being able to rock a new hairdo every day of the week, or never having to worry about bald spots again. Sounds neat, right? But let's delve a little deeper. Picture this. You're sitting in a coffee shop, and suddenly your hair starts growing uncontrollably. Before you know it, you're tripping over your own Rapunzel-like locks, causing a scene and making a quick exit. Not exactly the superhero entrance you were aiming for, was it? Sure, this power might come in handy if you're in the wig-making business, or if you're trying to win a bet for the world's longest beard. But in the grand scale of superhero abilities, it's not exactly up there with flight or super strength, is it? I mean, can you imagine trying to fight off a villain with a sudden burst of hair growth? Unless it's a villain with a severe hair phobia, you're pretty much out of luck. Or perhaps you could try to trip them up with an impromptu hair carpet. So there you have it. The ability to grow hair at will. Potentially great for personal grooming, not so great for saving the day. Sure, you'd save on haircuts, but as for saving the world, not so much. There you have it, folks. The top 5 most useless superhero powers. Who knew the superhero world was filled with such unique abilities? Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. We've explored the astonishing ability to turn into an immovable brick, the superhuman bouncing that can't be controlled, the bizarre talent of speaking to fruit, the emotionally revealing power of changing color based on feelings, and lastly, the hair-raising ability to grow hair at will. Quite a collection, isn't it? Just imagine, while some are saving the world with super strength and speed, others are busy having a chat with a banana or turning into a rainbow of emotions. But hey, to each their own. If you've enjoyed this fascinating journey into the realm of the absurd, please don't hold back. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share the fun with your friends. Most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more entertaining content. Remember, even if you could talk to fruit or turn into a brick, you're still super to us.